Hi, today we are looking at how to develop your skills and confidence in research and presenting your knowledge in film production, especially as a cinematographer. So I sent my mentee, Mihaela, on a task to identify a camera which she can use for a mini production, and she looked at Canon. So Mihaela is going to talk to us on her research experience and show us what she found. By the way, don't forget to follow us by clicking on the subscribe button and leave a comment for feedback purposes. Okay, so let's see what Mihaela did.
My name is Mihaela, and in this video I'm going to talk about Canon EOS R5. Technology is always advancing to provide something better, and as soon as you get used to a new technology, an even more advanced one bursts into the scene. You may have not warmed up with the idea of 4K yet, but you have to brace yourself to hear more about 8K. Yes, exactly, 8K. There are several 8K cameras on the market right now, several in a larger format, a proper machine I would say, and several more convenient for independent filmmakers. The most recent sensation comes from Canon. As it continues to impress, Canon EOS R5 is a powerhouse performer. Its 8K video outclasses many of the best cinema cameras. The R5 can capture full width, uncropped, raw 8K video using the entire readout of the 35mm sensor, and it does so internally at up to 29.97 frames per second. So you can imagine, this camera sounds like a dream for both stills shooters as for videographers. It's one of the best cameras you would ever have the pleasure to use. I don't own one yet, as it is quite expensive professional purchase for me, but I really think it's worth all the hype. It has attracted some attention for the wrong reasons, notably for overheating while shooting 8K videos, but this shouldn't distract from this camera's extraordinary capabilities. It's not perfect at everything, but given its resolution, its frame rate, and its video capabilities combined, this is genuinely a landmark camera. I admit it can be quite expensive, and it feels like there's still some development to be done at the video side, but I truly believe it's a big step forward in the technology used in cinema world. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
It's my first time when I'm doing something like this, and it took me a lot of time to book my tripod, put where I'm sitting, to try to remember half of the text I added, the script that I written, because I can't go on the way, I can't just say stuff and I'm like, yeah. So I had to script everything and then to figure how to memorize that script, because it wouldn't sit in front of me, and I don't have how is it called, that thing, teleprompter. So
Okay, that's great. Okay, so basically I'm very, very impressed with what you've done. All right, you've shown the courage, and the ability to research and as well come back and present. you obviously wanted to present it very professionally, and as if you're in in front of a newscast kind of settings. You're on BBC or ITV, trying to present it. So, which is great, However, what I wanted you to do more was to have an ownership of the idea, where you're talking about it and enjoying what you're saying, pretty much.
Okay.
Basically saying it and enjoying it because you like the camera, or you don't like the camera, and just giving your relaxed opinion about what you think. It's the same way you can talk to a friend about that camera, like a mobile phone that you like, and you're just talking about the mobile phone, the good thing about it, rather than trying to sell it, so you're not really So the whole idea of these tasks that are given to you was to be able to develop that confidence. So when you're in front of a producer who is looking to hire you, you're talking to that person, but you're not trying to sell the camera to them. You're simply showing off your knowledge about the camera, but you're talking to them as someone that you're just recommending something to because you know about the camera. So you're shifting the focus from the manufacturer side, to more of something you've used, something if they give it to you, you can use it and you think it's a good one and it saves them money, if they use this one rather than using that other one and all of that. Yeah. So the way you done it is fantastic from a marketing point, where you're actually marketing the camera, right? But when you're in front of a producer, you're not trying to market the camera because it's not your camera. You're not the manufacturer. You're actually trying to recommend a camera they might or may not have used, and you're trying to say, have you considered this one? What about that one? Oh, I know about this other one as well. That one is really good. All right. And you're going deep into what sort of project they have, what sort of budget they have, and what you think, depending on their budget, would be good. And which one do you really prefer? Because some cinematographers, they tend to like a certain camera. They prefer this camera to the other one, Some of them will actually own a camera and it's like a baby to them. So when they tell you about that camera, they're not telling you about the camera because they are representing the manufacturer. They are telling you about the camera because it's a baby to them. They know how to use the camera a lot, and it's so easy for them. They know all the settings. They've tried it, and it works well for them, So this is the whole reason behind the project, the tax, But I'm very impressed that you did the research, and you really, very convincing with the way you were more of a presenter.
completely understand your point, and I agree with you on what I did. I just believe, of course, that I need to get more familiar with the cameras, to do a better research, to have a whole idea of everything, and then I'm gonna be able to talk more relaxed. Because, for example, I can talk more relaxed about my film cameras that I have on the shelf, and I'm gonna talk like they're my babies, like to a friend. Then I'm gonna be able to do that. But at the moment, I feel I'm not really still have a lot of knowledge in regards to cinema cameras, and yes, but I'll do this exercise because it's really helpful, and especially when you do a lot of research and you look, it's really helpful.
That's great. So, and then you're going to now research other cameras. So you've done Canon now, right?
Yeah.
So you need to compare it another camera, so you can research maybe another two, so that you can find the difference between this one, that one. And then, for example, if you have a budget of maybe you have a budget of £20,000 for a micro budget project film, which camera would you use and why? All right. So now the producer is relying on you, the cinematographer, to come up with a plan, because as a cinematographer, you're leading the team of your department. All right. If the producer says to you, okay, this is what we are working on the camera department, you only have 20K to deal with on the camera department. Which two cameras can you consider, and which one would you prefer over the other, and why? All right. And then when you identify those cameras, you're not looking at buying them, because you're not necessarily going to have enough money to buy. And these days, people don't buy cameras and keep, because they become obsolete after some time, right? So what you're looking at is hiring those cameras. So what your tasks for next time would be, you have a budget of £20,000 allocated to you by the producer, and you need to identify two cameras. The spec will be minimum of 4K cameras. They have to be 4K minimum.
Okay.
You can get 8K, that's even better. And then you need to identify two different cameras. You need to now say, out of the two, this one has this one has that, and this is the one you would like to work with over that one. And then you explain why you chose that one. And then you need to also identify where you can source cameras, right? Where can you get it? So you can hire cameras from Fatlama, for example. Find out what is Fatlama, what do they do, what do they offer. Then you can look at other companies out there, that hire cameras, and what is required to hire a camera. Okay, what do you need? For example, the production company will need to insure the camera, just in case there is a damage or unacidental damage, right? So you now want to, producer need to know this, he needs to know it, but you want to be seen to know this stuff, because some cinematographers come with their equipment to the production company. So, okay, I've got this sorted. And as a cinematographer, you need to know that if you're hiring a camera, you need to cost the insurance and have an idea how much would it cost to hire a camera for a day? How much would it cost to hire other components that goes with the camera, like lenses? And this is very, very key for you as a cinematographer. You need to know what lens would work for what scene and why. All right? So you start learning about lenses, really, really top-notch idea of lenses. Is it 35 millimeter, 50 millimeters, different lenses, and what they do and why. All right? Because again, the lighting, the sharpness, the depth of field, all those things are key. Right? So one of the key skills a cinematographer would really have is that ability to communicate about the subject matter. Being able to say, okay, we're gonna need XY type of lenses that would help them to capture the images that they need to capture. Okay, so I'm not gonna give you too much. Right? Yes, but I do believe that you have the capacity, right? With what you've shown me, I was actually very amazed. The confidence is there. Just what you need to, kind of just go take it up from where it is now, take it up further, Yeah, but the confidence is definitely there. Yeah, and your ability to do the research is there. All right. So remind me what tasks you need to do.
Okay, so I have to find two cameras, cinematographic camera that I would use in a film that I would be the cinematographer, and I have to explain to the producers why I chose those cameras. The budget is 20,000. I think you mentioned, and find where I could find them, how much the rent would cost for one day, plus insurance, plus the lenses, and yes.
That's pretty much it. Yes, the lenses and all other gears that you will need. You can recommend, but sometimes the budget might say, no, we don't have money for this. You might say, I need a dolly. Yeah. They might say, we don't have budget for dolly. You might say, okay, we need, obviously you're gonna need a tripod, and then, other, find out other gears that would help you to, pan the camera, tracker. Do you have a tracker? They have, different things, yeah, that might help to give the film that cinematic look and feel. Okay, so you can add to your research as well, but consider yourself a cinematographer. All right, and you got project that you are looking to handle, and now you've got to do your research to present to the producers for the job. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go, guys. So we've seen how Mihaela has conducted her research on Canon and the feedback I gave to her. Obviously, she's going to go back again and do further research to develop her confidence and skills in her career as a cinematographer. Mihaela is a very good mentee, and she learns what she's told and what she's asked to go and do. She makes out time to develop her confidence. I hope you've learned something from this topic, and if you have any comment or feedback, kindly leave it there, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you, and we see you again next week.